but the EcoFlow is only at 20 and 30 watts. It's very quiet as well. That literally took 10 minutes from 20 degrees. You can actually go down to -20. If you've got a micro camper or you camp in your car, you need to look at this fridge. Recording on the video, so 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I told you I was pushing the North Coast 500 back by a couple of weeks because I had upgrades and I also had things coming, and one of them has came the day. So let's go see it. I wonder what it could be. So where did I get it? Let's open and find it. Can you guess what it is yet? No, a Rolf Harris joke. I got a new fridge. So if you remember rightly, the last fridge that I had was a cool box for Halfords. I think I took it to Largs, I took it to Butte, and it just sat right in the corner. It was a good fridge, but unfortunately it just drained the battery. I think it was running roughly about 60 watts at all times, so whether it was at the maximum temperature or whether it wasn't, it was still 60 watts and it was just draining the batteries. And the other problem as well is it only went down 10 degrees than what the environment temperature was. It was alright, it wasn't the best, but to be honest, it's not really a good option for a camper if you want to be off grid for a certain amount of time. This is the one I went with, the Alpicool, and it's only the 9 litre one, so this is actually the baby brother, so it is smaller than the Halfords by a bit. But the main important thing is this is a compressor fridge. So what is a compressor fridge and why does it matter? In a nutshell, you can regulate the temperature, but also when the fridge gets to a certain temperature, it doesn't turn off, but it basically cuts out, and then once the temperature comes back up, the fridge then kicks in to bring it back down again. That's a lot more efficient than what that Halfords one was. The thing is once it gets down to temperature, it doesn't need as much power at the start to get going again because it's already, you know, kind of there already. And another good thing about this is you could actually get it down to temperature in the house and then bring it into the car or the van. And the reason why I went for the smaller one is just because of space, because we are in a micro camper. This was actually the smallest that I could find with decent power ratings, decent power draw and good dimensions as well to fit in the van. I'm going to plug it into the Blue 80 and the EcoFlow just to show the power draw and how much power it takes to run it. So let's dig into it and have a wee look at it. So guys, if you do go and enjoy the video, be sure to like and leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know what fridge you're using, if you're using a leisure battery or if you're using the same power banks that I'm using. And if you haven't already, why not get subscribed and hit that bell notification so you're always notified when I drop a new video. We are doing the North Coast 500 in a couple of weeks, so if you want to see it, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. I don't really want to tilt it and stuff because it is a fridge, but you've got your power in here, but on the outside that's pretty much it. So you've got your temperature up and down here, you've got your on and off switch, and you've got your modes, I'm guessing, so eco or max. And the thing that everyone wants to see, how big is it?
That's what she said.
This is the inside it. Apparently it can fit 9 cans and 6 bottles, but we're going to test it and see. When you look at it like this, it does look small. It doesn't look like a whole lot of space, but see, to be honest, all I'm going to be putting in it is meat, some vegetables, you know, the odd can and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really worried about the capacity of it, because the way I see it is whatever I put in here is intentional, like I'm going to use it in a day or two. The more stuff that you put in here, I just feel like the more it will just go to waste. But they go in 9 litre, I think 15 litre and 20 litre, I think it is. I was looking at the 15 litre, but again, it comes down to the size and the length of it. I did want to put it in one of the storage bins under the bed, but the lid slightly raised by a centimetre, probably sit about that, and then you would just be sitting on it and probably book it. So you've got your manual, your house plug, your cigarette lighter and a power brick. So what's some of the features of this bad boy? I think first up is just the size of this thing. With a lot of compressor fridges, they are quite big, whereas this one, quite a good size for a micro camper. Second up, this nice wee control panel where you've got your temperature, you've got your mode and an on and off switch. Another good feature of it is you can actually use this as a fridge or a freezer. Can't do both, but you can do one or the other. You can have it at a optimal 3 degrees, 4 degrees kind of thing, but you can actually go down to -20 if you've got frozen meat or if you've got ice cream and stuff. Another great feature, it's got battery protection for whatever you're plugging it into, so whether it be the EcoFlow, the power generator or your car. And it is a pretty tight lid as well when you close it over and stuff, so you know when it's closed, no loose or anything. So we're just back for the shop. And I grabbed some things that you would probably put in your fridge. So let's see how we go on. Got the cans in. There's your veg. Cheese, why not? There's your milk. So we'll manoeuvre this a wee bit so we can put the bacon in. We'll put the milk to the back and we'll put that there. 2 lightly smoked salmon fillets. But look at how much packaging that's taken up. So you could easily take that packaging and just put it in something. Oh. So the milk is catching on this lip, but if you can see with that, it's more raised. So I wonder if we put this in the middle, if it'll make any difference. It's like your fridge in the house, innit? You need to move it all about. Onions to there, and then we'll put the fish in there. Will it close? So we've managed to fit all of that in, and we still have some space. This wee bit here just gives an extra bit of room at the top. I would say that's big enough for at least 2 people going away, never mind just one. It's just all about how you manage the space in it. Before we do the power test, let me show you where I'm going to put it in the van. So initially I was going to put it under one of the storage bins. It's marginal, like it's like 1 centimetre because of this raised bit here, and to be honest I prefer the head height. And I'm not going to go changing the bed just to make the fridge fit in it. I was thinking about putting it up here, but it would go to about here, and to be honest I like having this space to look at the window and stuff. Plus there isn't any rubber feet on the bottom of it, so it would just move about when I'm driving. So this is it. Realistically the only place it can go is where I had the Halfords fridge. So basically in this area here. Actually looks alright though. Only problem though, it's not exactly supported, so what can I do with that? Truth be told, I can't be bothered building another platform just now, so let's see if we can make something just for that to stand on as extra support. Actually, I think I've got an idea. Everything in a micro camper has to have more than one use. I think I've got another use for something in the van. We might be able to get away with it. I would need it to come up to this level here. It's as solid as it's going to be and it's not going to go anywhere. Like, it's going to rattle. That's going to be the pain in the arse, but we'll see if we can get it higher to match the level. Oh, I think we have a winner. That is solid, and with the weight of the fridge on it, it's not going to move that much. There you are. And truth be told, the heavy part of the fridge is here, and that's on this solid platform. And then obviously when you put stuff in it, the weight's going to be taken by the toilet. There you have it, we've found where we're putting it. It's no blocking the entrance either, which is pretty cool. So that's its new home, and it's pretty handy that the lid opens that way. And also making sure that the power supply is at the front. And we probably could bring this back a bit just so the airflow can get in there, like that, and it's still solid. And the good thing as well is the vents are at the front, so it's getting maximum airflow. So let's get to see how much power it takes. So we're going to try it with these two. See, I don't know if we need to use that or if we can just get away with using that. We're going to chance it. I'm going to try just using this. Tell you something though, it is a decent length of cable. Oh, please don't brick that EcoFlow. Well, it's definitely powered up, so that's at minus 13 degrees. So take it to minus 1, just so it's not working as hard. So we'll set it to eco. And what's eco flow saying? So I don't know if you can see that, but the eco flow is only at 20, fluctuating between 20 and 30 watts. That's pretty decent. Same, we've got 5 hours, and I mean it's only at 62%. If we go to the instructions, H3 should be set for when connected to the battery, so H2 or H1 should be set when it's connected to a portable. Put it in eco mode, and then you hold it. H2, so let's keep it at H1 because that's the lowest voltage. This number here is what it's currently sitting at, and as you saw it was 20, it's now went down to 19, so it is going to take a bit of time to get there, and the fact that it's only using that much energy on the EcoFlow. It is good to know we can run it with just that one cable, and we don't need this Nintendo 64 power brick. Look at that, it's went down to 17 already. So short pressing it is basically cooling mode, so you've got eco and you've got high. And then if you long press it, you've got your battery protection options, so number 1, number 2 and number 3. And all these relate to is how much power the unit's taking from the car battery or the EcoFlow. And number 1 is using the lowest power, whereas number 3 is basically drawing the most. There's a sensor inside it that knows when the car battery goes below a certain voltage, as well as the EcoFlow, and then it just cuts out, which is pretty good. So let's put the EcoFlow and see how much the voltage changes between different settings. It's on eco now, so let's change that to max. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the colour change to red, eco is green and max is red. And look at that, it's already down to 15 already. So the EcoFlow has now went up, see that? It's went up to, I think it peaked at 36. So if you were wanting to get this down to temperature a lot quicker, you would use the max option. It's going to use a bit more power, but to be fair, it's not using that much more. It's only using like 3 or 4 watts more. But I wonder if we change the battery protection, will that give us more power? So we're already in max mode because it's red. So let's put it in H2. And see how much power it takes. So it's not even taking that much more. Let's try H3. So nah, I don't think battery protections get much to do with how much power it's going to produce. I think it's just how much power it's taking, and then it cuts off at a certain wattage or a certain voltage just to protect the other thing from draining. I don't really see any other reason to change the battery protection unless I'm driving and I want to charge it for the front of the van. The fridge started at 20 degrees. It's down to 12 degrees already in the space of 5 minutes. It is on the max setting. It's very quiet as well. It's just quiet. Can't hear anything. So the Blue Yeti is sitting at 82%. So let's change it over and see the difference. Let's take it out and plug it into the Blue Yeti. So we're down to 9 watts and the Blue Yeti's only taking 21 watts off the fridge and it's in max mode. So here's a thought, let's plug the solar in. It is a very cloudy day, but let's see if we can get anything for solar. So as you can see as well, there's still plenty of space for the solar cables to go in. So there you go, we're getting 34 watts of solar in, 35, and we're only drawing 20, so we're roughly bringing in 15 watts. So we're actually bringing power in, we're not draining the battery now. Basically, it's just the equivalent of plugging that into the wall at the house. We're now bringing 50 watts in as we're using it. Like, I'm chuffed to bits with that. This is why I delayed the trip, because I wanted to do it right. So we've got the solar on the roof, we've got a fridge 40 watts less than the original fridge we had, and it's getting it down to temperature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it running and I'm going to get it to -1 degrees, see what happens. We're now at 0, so let's see what happens when we get to -1, and let's see what happens with the power. I don't know why this is exciting, but it is. So we're at -1. That's just cut out, and it's at -1. That literally took 10 minutes from 20 degrees. Can you tell it's my first time ever owning a compressor fridge? Basically, it's used the power from the Blue80 or the EcoFlow, and then what it's done is once it's getting to temperature, it's just turning itself off. So you don't even need to worry about it. So literally it just went to 1 degrees and it's just kicked on. From what I've seen here, when it gets 2 degrees over what you set it at, so mine was -1, this is now went up to 1 degrees, then it cuts in and starts taking power. If you've got a micro camper or you camp in your car, you need to look at this fridge. So guys, there you have it, one of the main upgrades for the van for the North Coast 500. Definitely check out the Alpicool 9-litre compressor fridge for your camper, and I'll leave a link in the description for the fridge if you want to go and pick it up. I've covered everything about it apart from the cost. So I managed to get it for 123 with a discount. If you don't have a discount, it's 138. In my opinion, it's so worth the money. So guys, that's the end of the video. I just wanted to share my new upgrade. Until the next video guys, peace!